Welcome back everyone, this is Mondo All Day, back with another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of the McFarlane online store exclusive figure. This is going to be Mr. Zsasz, the Gold Label. As always, I'll be talking about the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not only support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at front of the box. This side, the back, the other side, top, and bottom. And based on the image here on the actual back of the box, I wouldn't be surprised we get a repaint of this figure with this particular headpiece. But, oops. Alright, now let's take a look at the figure outside the box. As always, you do come with a card. The front of the card looks like for Mr. Zsasz. The back of the card. Put this back there. And here's the accessory that it comes with. It's just a regular butcher knife. Not much to it in terms of the knife itself. It's just plain simple knife. And it does come with a regular pug stand. Now let's take a look at Mr. Zsasz here. We'll start off with the articulation. So head, oh, it's a little stiff, but there you go. Loosen it up a little bit, left to right. Up, down is fine. Shoulder, bicep, elbow, wrist, torso, swivel. And then we'll do leg articulation. Knees, ankle, which is a bit limited because it does hit right here in his pants right there, and toes as well. So overall, the articulation on this figure is actually pretty good overall. Now let's take a look at the figure. We'll start off with the headpiece here. The headpiece, I think it looks cool. I do like the whole smirk, that creepy looking smirk. I like that. Then you have what looks like to be like glasses up type thing. You got that grin on there. Then you have the teeth, the painted lips, and of course hairstyle. The hairstyle is just blonde, not much to it. It's not bad, it's just there. And then you have the weird looking glasses with the eyes. It does have like white pupils. So I guess this works because, as you know, I'm a sucker for white eyes. This one, I guess you can say the white pupils, which I think it looks cool, a little creepy looking. And so the headpiece alone, it's cool, it's fine. Nothing too crazy or anything about it, but it looks good though. In terms of the arms, then you have the muscle tone, just shoulders, bicep, and tricep. If you're wondering, Lamondo, it looks familiar, it's because this is a repaint of another figure, which I'll show in a bit. But here is going to be the shoulder, the bicep, and the arms. And I do have an issue of the paint, which I'll show you in a bit. In comparison, you'll see like, oh, okay, I get it. But here we go. Here we have all the numbers that Zsasz is, how many people has Zsasz is killed. And here's the other side, right? The bicep, shoulder, forearm, more of the numbers on there. You got the closed fist, and then you got the open hand, the trigger hand, so you can hold the knife. And then you have here the upper body, which is very muscle tone-like, as you can tell, you can see it here. You got the chest, the abdomen, obliques that's here into the side. Then the back is just plain, which is a bit unfortunate because I wish it had more of the, you know, the numbers on here in the back, because the back looks very plain. Even on the arms, it looks like the upper body of a wrestler, like a wrestler figure, you know, when they have like very plain looking. But yeah, the front, it's all tatted up. So, and overall, the upper body on this figure, it's fine. It's just your typical mold for a figure. It does have that skin tone paint, and that's where I have an issue, because the skin tone paint, it does not match. It's mismatched a lot of places. So for instance, look at the neck, right? The neck, and then look at the headpiece, different shade of color. Look at the shoulder piece and look at the bicep. I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but it's a little bit shaded different color. It's nothing crazy, but once you see it, you're like, it's very subtle. Like, for instance, this was more pinkish. This is a more white, I guess you can say. And then you can see here on the elbow what I mean. I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but it's a different shade of skin tone paint. Then you can see it also on the wrist joint. And then also too on the chest and abdomen. The abdomen on here is one color, but yeah, on the shoulders, it's a little different. Is it a deal breaker? No, but it's something there. It's one of those you have to see it in person type of thing. Because on camera, it may not be noticeable, but when you see it in person, you will see how the skin tone paint is a little different on the shoulders and the bicep, and of course the head. Not a deal breaker, but it is present, it's there. So it's a bit of a downside, but it's all good. Does he do squats? He does squats pretty well compared to other figures they've gotten. Here's the back of the legs. The back of the legs, not much to it. There's not really muscle tone. You got the jeans or whatever they are, the pants. Unfortunately, the diaper is not painted with that gloss paint. You can see perfectly what I mean. They look at the difference in paint. And here's the back of the legs, the side. And here is going to be the front, which has some kind of like a wrinkle on there on the pants. The feet are just plain. And then here is going to be the thighs. The thighs are very, very simple design, not much to it. And then you have here the belt. Nice shiny silver paint on the belt. I do like how it's painted black on the belt and then blue on there as well. And so the lower body is very, very plain looking, not much to it. I get it, McFarlane did a Victor Zsasz figure, and unfortunately Victor Zsasz does not have like a huge amount of detail and sculpture design. So overall the figure looks cool. I like the figure. I do have some issues with it. One is going to be the whole skin tone paint being different on the shoulder, bicep, chest, and head, right? Not a deal breaker, but it's there. Also, the back is just plain. Again, not a deal breaker, it's there. But for the price for what you're getting, which I'll talk about more in a bit, it's one of those, like, if this was not a Gold Label exclusive, yeah, it wouldn't have sold a lot. So I can see why McFarlane made its Gold Label exclusive. But overall, cool looking figures, and I'm glad we have a Victor Zsasz figure added to the DC Multiverse lineup. So there's that. But of course, the main question is it really worth it? Should you go out and get this figure? If this was not a Gold Label exclusive figure, I would say wait for it to sell. For the price for what you're getting, which is just a butcher knife, and that's pretty much it, I just don't see it really being worth the $23 or $22.99 price tag. $19.99 is more of like, okay, fair price for what you're getting. Look, I'm not expecting to get like 2 different headpieces or like 3 pairs of hands. If anything, maybe just another hand, like, kind of like a claw hand. That'd be kind of cool. But for $23 for what you're getting, I don't really see it being a good value. For me, wait for a sale for $15, but it is a Gold Label, so you might risk losing or missing out on this figure. Regardless of the price, though, what I think about the figure, it's cool to have. I don't hate it, nor I don't love it. It's one of those, like, if you want to have a display piece where you have all DC Multiverse figures that are Batman villain, then boom, here you go. Other than that, it's cool to have, but that's it. I don't hate it, like I said, nor do I like it. It's more of like, oh, it's cool. That's it. Overall, what do I give this figure? I give it a low thumbs down. I don't hate it, nor I don't love it. It's one of those figures, if you want to have a display piece where you have all Batman villains, boom, here you go. Other than that, I mean, if you're a hardcore fan, I can definitely see people like rushing and getting it. If it wasn't a Gold Label, like I said, this probably go on sale. And to me, I don't see the real value of it at $23. If it came with maybe an extra hand or an extra knife that was kind of bloody or something, just something extra to make it worth the price of $23, I would say yes. But for what you're getting for your money and some inconsistencies in terms of the skin tone paint, the lack of paint in the back, which is not a deal breaker in the back, but the inconsistency of the paint, and just for $23, I just don't see the real value of it. Here we have the Riddler. I believe it's called Riddler Classic, and of course Zsasz. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be a repaint of this one because, I mean, it really is. I mean, look at the abdomen, the chest, right? The belt, obviously not the same, but you get what I'm saying. The legs as well too. So this one is just a repaint of this one, which is fine. But this one does have the Riddler paint in the back, right? This one, there's nothing. So how come this one can have that paint, but this one doesn't, right? But honestly, it doesn't really pop compared to this one. This one pops. And for what you're getting for the price, I believe it's like 20 bucks. You get like 3 pairs of hands, and you get an accessory, and you get the paint throughout the whole body. Definitely worth the price. This one is just, it's missing. For the money where you're paying, it's missing something. Here we have another Batman villain. It's going to be Poison Ivy. This is going to be Poison Ivy from the, I believe it's Batman and Robin movie wave. Right, is it Batman Forever or Batman and Robin? I can't remember. But you know what I'm talking about. Poison Ivy. Finally, we've got a Poison Ivy figure, which, it's fine. I just wish it was more comic accurate. Because when you have a live action figure next to this one, it just looks a little off. But hopefully we'll get a Poison Ivy that's more comic accurate. Here we have Two-Face as Batman next to Zsasz. Really underrated figure. I mean, this mold of Batman, the Hush Batman, as a lot of people call him, so many reuse of it. I believe they made it recently a black and white one, or sketch one, I believe. There's a blue variant, the black and gray variant. There's a GameStop exclusive variant, and then we have this one, and the DC Vampires one. I mean, it's a great looking Batman mold, but man, so many reuse of it. But it's all good, though. It's a great looking figure, though. Here we have Joker. This is going to be the, oh man, what is it? BBTS, Big Bad Boy Toy exclusive, or Entertainment. I always forget which one it is, but I know it's an exclusive one. It's going to be the Blacklight Edition Joker, and of course Zsasz. I really like this figure, especially the Blacklight. The whole color palette between like a bright green, and then you have the undershirt black, and the the undershirt black, the button black. It really does pop. So there you go. Joker, another villain of Batman, next to Zsasz, another villain of Batman. Here we have another exclusive figure, Gold Label, which I believe is the Comic-Con exclusive figure, Joker, with the clown mask from the Dark Knight movie wave. And of course Zsasz, which I believe it became, I know this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and I believe it became a McFarlane exclusive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this live action Joker, I think it works because of the clown mask. If this is more of the live action regular Heath Ledger phase, I think it would be a little off in terms of a comic accurate next to a live action. But I think these two next to each other, I think it works. Not very well, but it works overall. Last but definitely not least, it's going to be Batman. This is going to be Rebirth Batman, the blue and gray variant, or the digital, as it says right here in the base edition. I really like this figure. The gold on it, the blue and gray looks good as is. The Rebirth figure, in terms of the sculpture design, it looks really good, but that gold just pops. And when you have the accessories also being gold, it just pops even more. And so, yeah, here he is, Batman, next to one of his villains, the crazy one, Mr. Zsasz. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me in this figure? Do you plan on purchasing this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of Mr. Zsasz, the McFarlane online store exclusive figure, Gold Label, and on to the next one.